All right, this is the next episode is going to be rescuing Imogene. Helen was a smashing success. I hope you got to see my last video. Helen is, let's see, she's right over here. That's Helen. And Helen was full of water in the crankcase and had no tank, no carburetor linkage, no air filter, that all had to be added. And when I pulled the cord on her, all I got was a weak little pop. But I took the head off and was able to just clean around the exhaust valve, and everything's fine now. Amazing. But this is Imogene, and Imogene ran for a while, but then just quit dead, just nothing. And when I press the primer bulb, I can feel the resistance and hear the fuel going in there, so I know it's getting fuel. And I'm using, good, fresh, stabilized with Briggs and Stratton fuel stabilizer fuel, so I know it's good. And that's what I used in Helen just yesterday, so it's good. So my problem, I think, is that I have a bad coil. And one of the reasons I think that is my son came to visit me with our little granddaughter, and I got him to look at my spark tester, which is right here. And if it's getting spark, you're going to see a pretty good flash right in there. And it's not easy to see when you're outdoors, so we did it here in the garage in a sort of shaded area. And he said on about every third pull he would see a little bit of spark, and I said, well, I don't think that's enough. So I suspect this has a bad coil. So we're going to go about checking all that out. So let's get started. The first thing I got to do is take off that rewinder. And I need my electric drill and a 3/8 socket for that. So let's do that. By the way, the date on this mower is, this is from 2004. That's how old this mower is. You can tell that by the code on the front of the rewinder. So I got rid of that one. Here's this 3/8 over here. There's 3 of them. And you may notice my kill switch and brake engine brake is far from typical. Sometimes on these old mowers, I just want to get them running and not sell them for much. And to do that, I just make a will-do switch. So there's no cable here. It just pulls directly. Let's see if we get this up here. See, it just pulls directly on that, and that's enough to clear that electrical contact. So now I think we can lift this off. Get that out of the way. And it's pretty grungy up in there. And you see that resistance, so it's got compression. You can hear that. So let me show you how I'm going to test this. Let me get a little screwdriver or pocket knife or something, and I'm going to make a little scratch here in the middle of the coil until I see some bare metal. There's a lot of rust here, so I'm kind of having a hard time getting down to the shiny bare metal because I need to make electrical contact with this coil. might be enough. Let me show you what I'm doing. See right there where I've scraped, and now there's shiny metal. I need that. I know there are other ways to check for a bad coil. This is one I use just to try it, and so I'll need to separate the spark plug wire for my spark tester. Okay, stay with me. I'm going to go get my ohm meter. Let's see, where are you? All right, if this coil is good, it's going to read between about 2.5 and 5 resistance on this ohm meter. That's the kind that I use, little cheap thing. And I'm going to turn it from the off position to this green position where it says ohm. Ohm. And I'm going to take the red probe and put it where it's touching the inside of that spark plug. That spark plug's kind of dirty. Let me get this scratch around in there. And get it right down the center where it's touching the metal. And then I'm going to take the black probe, get this straightened out here, the black probe, and I'm going to touch the little area that I just scraped. And we'll see what kind of reading I get. This is not working very good. I got things in the wrong position. Let's see, let me get this up here. And this time I'll put the black one on doesn't make a difference, the black one on the spark plug, and the red one here. Okay, it's moving around, but it's showing that this coil is good, but it's reading about 4 ohms. And that should be okay. So maybe it's not the coil. Interesting. Well, I've heard that sometimes this is not the most reliable method. I got to remember to turn my ohm meter off. So I think what I'll do is just replace the coil anyway. Make sure my electrical contacts here. Yeah, that's definitely clearing. The engine contact is clearing. So instead of, I've got to go and get a coil. So you guys will come back in a few minutes. I'll have that new coil on there, and we'll try it and see if this mower is going to start.